Prime, prime. All right, woo, all right. Have you ever wondered why we do what we do? What causes us to act out or not do something? What drives all of our decisions and our actions? If you've ever asked yourself that, if you're curious to know what goes into that, we're going to cover that in this video and go into why human beings or you or myself do what we do. And you're going to be surprised that it's something about pain or pleasure. Check it out. Okay, so we're going to talk about how pain or pleasure comes into a huge part of our action and our decision making and our thinking, all right? And, when you understand what goes into our behavior and what makes us do certain things, then you'll be able to identify and control the things that you need to do or stop doing in order for you to get to where you want to go or be who the person you want to be or have those relationships you want to be or make that kind of progress or have that kind of success that you're interested in. And then it becomes like a game, because when you realize what you can control, life gets a whole lot easier, instead of looking around and be like, oh, why is this happening to me? What is this? Why are all these things happening to me? When you realize, like, wait a second, stop. What if I move this chess piece here? What if I do this task over here? What if I earn this income over here? What if I don't hang out with these people? What if I hang out with new people? What if I get a mentor? What if I start reading? What if I start doing things? What if I start spending a lot of money at the clubs? What am I going to do? And how does that have an effect on everything that I want to do and what's going on? And then when you realize that you can control these things, it becomes like a game and say, I wonder what happens if I move this pawn over here. Where's that going to get me? You know what I mean? And that's where it gets fun. And this is where you also get to learn a lot about yourself too as a human being or as a person. When you start asking yourself these questions, you start shining light on things or on questions or on problems that you might not even knew that you were asking yourself. And then you could identify those or and accomplish those things. So it gets really interesting when you're like, I know that I want to eat this piece of chocolate because it's so good, But you got to remember that eating chocolate all the time isn't the best for your health. Oh, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. Yeah, okay, depending on where you got the chocolate from, that's a whole nother issue as well. Okay, so, but what we're trying to talk about here is we know that doing certain habits or eating certain foods or, being around certain people is going to have a negative effect on us. But why do we do it? Because it brings us pleasure or pain, depending on what it was that we're talking about. You can actually train yourself that getting smacked is pleasurable. And most people, you growing up as a kid, you never wanted to get spanked, and now as an adult, it's not that bad. No, I'm joking. But why do we do these things? And then when you start to look at other things like why they cause you pain or pleasure, you'll be able to identify and do more of those actions and actually reprogram yourself. So that, for example, you don't want to make phone calls to let your friends or family know that you just launched your new business that you're really excited about. And, not only is it sad or unfortunate that you feel like you can't be excited about something around your friends and family when they're supposed to be the people that are like closest to you, but we need to identify how we can turn that into a pleasurable thing. And one of the things that we can do is by making those phone calls and sharing what we're excited about with people, whether it's selling a service or getting help or whatever the case, a fundraising thing, that reward's going to make you feel better, right? And you're going to be like, oh, wow, this made me feel so good. I can make these calls. I can close deals. I can grow and help people win. And when you start getting these positive results, you'll get that confidence and you'll be able to put that into all these other areas. And then you'll be able to position things like, no, I know by doing 100 phone calls, I'm going to get this much business. I'm going to be able to take my kids to Disney this year or whatever it is that you want to plan, So identifying the things that you don't want to do and you want to do and whether or not they're for pain or pleasure, and reprogram your mind by doing something repetitively over and over and over again, never stop learning. That'll become a part of your subconscious and it'll become like automatic, just like maybe driving or reading or walking is, depending on how old you are and what you do. And by doing these things, you're going to get that confidence, you're going to get that more experience, you're going to get those learning experiences where you're going to apply and do better the next time that comes around. In addition to knowing that if you have to make these phone calls and it's going to generate you business, or if you want to tell someone how you feel about your relationship and you know that by not talking to them is only causing your relationship more problems, then you need to make sure that you understand why it's important to you that you feel that way, and taking initiative and taking that massive action for you to get those results that you want, so you can either learn from them or get what you really wanted for it. And then what happens if you did get those results? You'd be stoked, you'd be awesome, you'd be like, let's keep doing this. I want more of this. I want more love for my family members. I want more money for my business. I want to help more people. I want to accomplish more goals. I want to learn another language. You can apply all that in all these different areas. So you need to think about that every time you move forward. Even by watching this video right now, you're becoming more aware of everything that can happen moving forward. So how's that for a rant? So you can be like, okay, why am I doing this right now? Is this for pain or is this for pleasure? Is this something that's going to help me get closer to my goals? That's something that you need to think about. All right. So that's a rant. Another thing that makes us do what we do is something called our monkey brain, all right? And our monkey brain, if you could guess, is something that likes to stay stimulated. It's got high distraction. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, what about that? That's something that keeps us always on the go, all right? And from that, you got to control that. When you realize that you have these characteristics or these qualities naturally, just as a human being, you become more aware and be able to control some of the things, and ultimately more responsible and control of your outcomes. So if you're there watching Ricky Lake and you're like, oh, I need to be checking what's in the fridge, or I need to be checking my email, or maybe I should be picking up my kids from the salon or something, whatever your thing is that you have a monkey brain that you're always having to constantly battle, and then you also have the survival side of your brain where you're lazy. Humans are naturally lazy because we want to survive. We would love to just stay around and lay in a cave and survive and stuff like that. But then we have this other side that is very active that can be like maybe like a pinball. So how do we balance life or control the outcomes when we know that we have a thing for pain or pleasure, we have a lazy side for survival, and then we have a monkey side for like entertainment and activity? And it's like, wow, those are all kind of like counterproductive of one another, huh? And now you're woke. Because as you become more aware of this stuff and you dive deep in this rabbit hole, you'll see that there's a whole lot of balance and almost like contradictory and stuff like that. But with light, there's darkness, and with darkness, there's light. It's crazy. Different video conversation. But as far as our monkey brain and our lazy brain, and then doing things for pain or pleasure, we have to identify those things. So the monkey brain, it's active. It likes us to bounce around and get distracted. And we need to make sure that we focus and really get disciplined on the areas that we need to handle right now, the high priority items, the most key performance indicators that we can do right now that's going to give us the result that we want and get us a better return that much sooner. Because if we're bouncing into Gmail or we're bouncing into our email looking for some things that, decluttering our email when we can be working on are part of this project that's going to launch next week, then you'll be able to identify, okay, I'm spending too much time checking my email when I only really need to check that like once or twice a day, and then I can put all this other time back in, and that's okay if you do that. I used to do that a lot. When you're stressed out or overwhelmed and you're trying to get your foot in this new business, or you're trying to scale your business and you're taking on new responsibilities and everybody's got a little bit more on their plate, what you need to do is take a step back and realize that I could be doing more proactive activities. And when we get stressed out, we want to control our controllables. We want to be able to control what we can. That's why people like stress clean almost, because they're having a hard time control whatever's going on in their relationship or their business or their scenario, and then they stress clean, and then someone comes home to a great house or a clean house. I guess it's synonymous at this point. It's always great coming home to a clean house. But as far as talking about progress, and we're right here, we know that we tend to stress clean, fold laundry, check our emails when we get stressed, or know that we should actually be making these phone calls, doing the yard work, or giving someone the time and attention in that relationship that we're trying to improve, saying, hey, I really want to focus on you. Let's have this conversation, or let's schedule something so we can have that long talk, or go over that business proposal, or some me time, because it's all about balance, right? Life in a balance. That's a Common Sense song. So boom, that's how we kind of handle our monkey brain in a nutshell is, okay, I know that I'm going to naturally want to be distracted and control the things that I think that I can control, but right this second, I need to be putting my time, energy, and attention into what's going to bring me the result that I want in this particular area, whether it's your business, your projects, your school, your relationship with your loved ones, your marriage, anything like that. Now is probably a good time to think about what you could put more into each of those areas as well. So you start focusing on all of them, so you're not at the beach wishing that you were at work, and then you're not at work wishing you were at the beach, kind of thing. Okay. Part 3. Okay, so now we went over the pain or pleasure, the monkey brain. Now we're going to go over the survival mode, the lazy aspect of the human brain, all right? And what that does is, you guessed it, it's where you don't want to do anything. And sometimes we get that way from going all the time. I got to do this, I got to do that. And no, that's okay. That's called rest and balance. That's why you feel that way. But then that going alongside pain or pleasure, and when you get overstressed out, whether you stress eat or stress nap, this lazy side of things comes over you, especially when you're stressed out. So not only is it important for you to stay focused on what it is that you're doing because of the lazy aspect, you're like, okay, I need to, see how it's like the same action step, not to dilute or disregard your particular scenario, that where it's coming from, because it's hard coming from a scenario where you don't have money or you don't have support and you're trying to make your dreams happen like yesterday. I get that. And part of that is just implementing all these little controllables throughout your day. So over a period of time, you've built that wall, that foundation, that structure for you to just take a step up. And that's all this is every single day, is just staying woke, not getting distracted too much, and putting as much energy into something as possible so you can get that massive positive result from all that action that you took, and either gain learning experiences or resources or progress. So don't be lazy. If you know that you need to do things, you can't be lazy. It might sound simpler than, oh yeah, Robert, we know, we have to do things and do things, but a lot of people saying the same thing over and over again is okay, especially until you do it. If you're hearing the message like, okay, I hear it's the same thing, and you're not getting the results that you want, it's important that you implement these things that you're learning so you can get in there and start seeing it. Because I heard Tony Robbins say that one time was, oh, Tony, you say all the same things all over and over and again, when are you going to switch it up? He's like, until you do it, until you get it. I'm going to keep saying it until you get it. And that's what these are great for. You don't have to, you can't just watch these one time and think that you got it. Like intellectually you'll get it, yeah, but when you watch it over and over again and you hear the different nuggets and you hear what I'm trying to send you, like energetically, like the vibration I'm trying to send to you, as far as like the confidence and the results that I'm trying to instill in you by taking that massive action and controlling your controllables and knowing what you can and can't do and what you should and shouldn't do, and writing down not to do lists, and writing down when you feel great and the results, and keeping data, tracking the phone calls, creating a matrix, all these different things, talking to your spouse about what it is that you're trying to do, whether it's for dinner or vacation or long-term goals, incorporating your family, all these different things. You have the ability to do it. You can absolutely do it. And my whole message is, helping you win, helping people win. Thank you so much for watching this video. Now you know why humans, or you and I, do what we do every single day, and that's because we do things for pain or pleasure. We have a monkey brain and a lazy brain, and when you learn how to control or start to control each of these areas, you'll be able to get those relationships and that success and that progress that you want in all aspects of your life. All right, so they say courage is contagious and the rising tide lifts all ships. So help me, help you, help your friends. Take care. All right, if you liked watching this video, go ahead and hit the like button below. If you want to see more of my videos so you never miss a video in these upcoming weeks, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell if you want the notifications on so you get alerted every time I release a new video. And if you like something specific about this video, or if you want me to touch base in a certain subject or answer a certain question, go ahead and type it in the comments below. Leave some constructive feedback or criticism, and I'd be more than happy to oblige and do that special video to you, all right? Especially if we get a lot of interest, all right? And don't forget to subscribe. I know I said subscribe to the channel, but I want to make sure you know, because by subscribing, a lucky winner every Monday will receive a complimentary vacation from me and my partners. Yes, absolutely. So go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe so at least you or your friends can get a complimentary vacation, okay? Thank you so much for following me. See you next week.